My name is Lena, and for years I thought I understood exactly what my marriage was. Safe, predictable, a little lonely, maybe, but safe. My husband, Aaron, and I had been married for 7 years. We lived in a small house in Portland, Oregon, on a street lined with maple trees and porches that all looked the same. When we first met, it felt effortless. He made me laugh in ways nobody else ever had. He remembered small things, how I hated cilantro, how I always cried during movies, how I couldn't sleep without a fan running. We weren't dramatic. We were solid. At least, we used to be. Over time, life became routines instead of moments. Aaron worked as a financial analyst. Long hours, endless deadlines. I worked remotely as a content editor. We shared a home, but less and less of ourselves. We still said good morning, still asked, how was your day? But the answers got shorter. The pauses got longer. And somehow, loneliness can become invisible when it lives with you long enough. That was around the time I met Caleb. He wasn't a stranger. He was Aaron's friend from college. He'd been around for years, barbecues, football Sundays, Christmas parties. But one rainy afternoon, he stopped by unexpectedly to drop off some papers Aaron needed. Aaron wasn't home. I almost told him to leave them and go. Instead, I invited him in. We drank coffee while rain tapped against the windows. And for 40 minutes, someone actually talked to me. Not through me, to me. He asked how I was doing. And waited. It felt harmless, until it didn't. After that, Caleb started texting sometimes. At first, innocent things, funny articles, questions about books, then longer conversations, then late-night conversations. I told myself it wasn't wrong. Nothing had happened. No touching. No secrets. Except, it had already become one. And somewhere inside me, I knew it. Still, I didn't stop. Because sometimes attention feels dangerously close to love when you've been starving long enough. And I didn't realize how close I was to losing everything. Not until the day Aaron came home early. It was Thursday. Aaron was supposed to be downtown until at least 6. Caleb came over around 3. He told me he was in the neighborhood. I should have said no. Instead, I opened the door. I don't know why. Maybe because I already knew I wanted him there. Maybe because by then, saying no would have meant admitting something I didn't want to name. We sat in the kitchen. Talking. Too close. Too comfortable. There was tension in the air now, thicker than before. And then it happened. Just for a second. But I didn't pull away. I should have. I know that now. Instead, I looked at him. And in that moment, every quiet ache I'd been carrying suddenly had a face. Then I heard it. The front door opening. My blood turned cold. Aaron. He was home. Early. Caleb stood up so fast his chair scraped against the floor. My hands were shaking. Aaron walked in holding his briefcase. At first, his expression was normal. Then he saw Caleb. Then me. And everything changed. The room went still. Why are you here? Aaron asked. His voice was calm. Too calm. Caleb opened his mouth. Aaron looked at me. And somehow, that was worse. Because he wasn't angry yet. He was trying to understand. And I couldn't give him anything that sounded innocent anymore. We were just talking, I said. Even I heard how weak it sounded. Aaron stared at my face. Then at our coffee mugs. Then at Caleb. And I saw the exact second doubt turned into something heavier. Caleb muttered something about leaving. Then he was gone. The door shut. And now it was just us. Aaron didn't yell. He just asked one question. Did something happen? And that was the moment I realized the truth wasn't simple. Because even though we hadn't kissed, something had happened. And we both knew it. I told him no. Not a lie. But not the whole truth. And half-truths can be crueler than lies. Aaron nodded slowly. Then walked upstairs. That was all. No shouting. No breaking things. No dramatic exit. Just silence. And somehow silence can hurt more. For the next week, we moved around each other like strangers. He slept in the guest room. He stopped asking how my day was. Stopped texting. Stopped looking at me too long. And for the first time in years, our house didn't feel quiet. It felt hollow. Caleb texted me once. "I'm sorry." I never replied. But the guilt didn't leave. Because the worst part wasn't what Aaron had seen. It was what I had finally been forced to see in myself. I had crossed a line long before that afternoon. Not physically. Emotionally. And now I understood something terrifying. People don't wake up one morning and betray someone. It happens slowly. In tiny permissions. In lonely conversations. In moments you convince yourself don't count. Until suddenly they do. Then one night, Aaron finally spoke. I kept replaying it, he said quietly from the doorway. My chest tightened. What? The look on your face when I walked in. I couldn't breathe. It wasn't guilt, he said. It was panic. And he was right. That's what destroyed me. Not because I loved Caleb. I didn't. But because for one awful second, I had been afraid of being caught. Not afraid of losing my husband. And that truth was unbearable. I'm sorry, I whispered. Aaron laughed once. Not cruelly. Just tired. I don't even know what I'm supposed to forgive. Neither did I. And that was the worst part. Aaron moved out for a while. Just temporarily, he said. But temporary can feel permanent when the house still smells like someone who stopped sleeping there. I thought I missed Caleb. I didn't. I missed feeling wanted. And once I understood that, something inside me shifted. Because it forced me to face a harder truth. I hadn't fallen for another man. I had fallen into my own loneliness. That doesn't excuse what I did. But it explained it. Weeks later, Aaron agreed to meet me. A small cafe across town. He looked older somehow. Tired. But calmer. I told him everything. Not just about Caleb. About me. About how lonely I'd felt. About how ashamed I was that I never said it out loud until it was too late. Aaron listened. Really listened. And when I finished, he stared down at his coffee for a long time. Then he said something I'll never forget. I thought working harder was loving you better. That broke me. Because for the first time, I saw his loneliness too. We had both been disappearing. Just in different ways. We didn't fix things overnight. There was therapy. Hard conversations. Nights where forgiveness felt impossible. But slowly, something honest returned. Not the old marriage. Something different. Something less polished. But more real. Months later, one evening, we were sitting on the back porch while rain tapped softly against the railing. Aaron reached for my hand. Simple. Quiet. And this time, I cried. Because sometimes surviving betrayal doesn't mean pretending it never happened. It means finally telling the truth about what was broken long before anyone noticed. My husband came home early that day. And yes, everything changed. But not because he caught me with another man. Because he caught the exact moment I had stopped being honest, with him and with myself. And in the end, that truth saved us. Not perfectly. Not completely. But enough. And sometimes, enough is the closest thing love gets to a miracle.